Good evening and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the top headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump decide to take Indo-US relationship to comprehensive global partnership level. From defense and security to trade and people-to-people contacts, summit talks between the two leaders feature all important aspects of partnership. Both countries agree on new mechanism to contain drug trafficking, increase efforts to hold supporters of terrorism accountable, and strengthen strategic energy partnership. India to buy Apache and MH-60 Romeo helicopters from the US. India and the United States of America agreed to negotiate towards reaching a big agreement on trade. In addition to increasing cooperation in the economic sphere, both sides signed MOUs in 3 areas including energy and health. US First Lady Melania Trump takes a keen interest in India's tradition and culture, mingles with children in the happiness class at South Delhi Government School. Says world can take inspiration from the curriculum, praises the healthy and positive examples set by the educators. And biennial elections to 55 Rajya Sabha seats to be held on the 26th of March to fill seats of retiring members. Notification to be issued on the 6th of March, 13th March to be the last date for filing nominations. Several MPs, including Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha Harivansh, Ramdas Athavale, Digvijay Singh and Tiruchi Shiva to retire in April. First, all the news related to US President Donald Trump's visit to India. US President Donald Trump attended a grand state banquet hosted in his honor by President Ramnath Kovind at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. This was the last function of his 2-day visit to India. President Donald Trump, accompanied by First Lady Melania Trump, was received by President Ramnath Kovind at the forecourt of the majestic Rashtrapati Bhavan along with his wife Savita. President Kovind took President Trump to Darbar Hall, where the visiting dignitary saw the Gautam Buddha statue belonging to the 5th century, as well as portraits of various Indian leaders. Later, the two presidents met for ceremonial talks, during which President Kovind said the importance of Indo-US relationship can be gauged from the fact that a large number of people came to welcome the US president. Donald Trump also said that both countries are working towards trade as well as military deals, adding that coming to India has always been a learning experience. He also thanked President Kovind for the hospitality extended to him and his entourage. Earlier in the day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the US President held extensive talks covering the entire spectrum of Indo-US bilateral ties, including key areas of defense, security, as well as trade and investment. Prime Minister Modi said that both countries have decided to take ties to comprehensive global partnership level. My colleague Akhilesh Suman brings us this report.
On the second day of US President Donald Trump's maiden visit to India, he held a summit-level meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday. Both leaders said that the relationship between the two countries is going to be the tie-up of the century. The two leaders talked on all issues of mutual and global concern and chalked out a trajectory on how to tap the capabilities of both countries together. They asserted that India and the US are going to forge a comprehensive partnership.
आज राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप और मैंने हमारे संबंधों को कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव ग्लोबल स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप के स्तर पर ले जाने का निर्णय लिया है। संबंधों को इस मुकाम तक लाने में राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप का अमूल्य योगदान रहा है। फ्रेंड्स, आज हमारी चर्चा में हमने इस पार्टनरशिप के हर अहम पहलू पर सकारात्मक विचार किया, चाहे वो डिफेंस एंड सिक्योरिटी हो, एनर्जी स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप हो, टेक्नोलॉजी कोऑपरेशन हो, ग्लोबल कनेक्टिविटी हो, ट्रेड रिलेशंस हो या फिर पीपल टू पीपल टाइज।
The two sides also signed 3 MOUs in the field of oil and gas, cooperation in mental health and safety of medical products. Besides these MOUs, the two leaders also reached an understanding on how to build on the unanimity of ideas, specifically in the areas of defense, internal security, maritime cooperation and sensitive technologies of dual uses.
भारत और अमेरिका के बीच बढ़ता रक्षा और सुरक्षा सहयोग हमारी स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का एक बहुत अहम हिस्सा है। अत्याधुनिक रक्षा उपकरण व प्लेटफॉर्म पर सहयोग से भारत की डिफेंस क्षमता में बढ़ोतरी हुई है। हमारे डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरर्स एक दूसरे की सप्लाई चेन्स का हिस्सा बन रहे हैं। भारतीय फोर्सेस आज सबसे अधिक ट्रेनिंग एक्सरसाइजेज यूएसए के फोर्सेस के साथ कर रही है। पिछले कुछ सालों में हमारी सेनाओं के बीच इंटर ऑपरेबिलिटी में अनप्रेसिडेंटेड वृद्धि हुई है। फ्रेंड्स, इसी तरह हम अपने होमलैंड्स की सुरक्षा और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय अपराध से लड़ने के लिए भी सहयोग बढ़ा रहे हैं। आज होमलैंड सिक्योरिटी पर हुए निर्णय से इस सहयोग को और बल मिलेगा। आतंक के समर्थकों को जिम्मेदार ठहराने के लिए आज हमने अपने प्रयासों को और बढ़ाने का निश्चय किया है। प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप ने ड्रग्स और ओपियोइड क्राइसिस से लड़ाई को प्राथमिकता दी है। आज हमारे बीच ड्रग ट्रैफिकिंग, नार्को टेररिज्म और ऑर्गेनाइज क्राइम जैसी गंभीर समस्याओं के बारे में एक नए मैकेनिज्म पर भी सहमति हुई है।
We expanded our defense cooperation with agreements for India to purchase more than $3 billion of advanced American military equipment, including Apache and MH-60 Romeo helicopters, the finest in the world. These deals will enhance our joint defense capabilities as our militaries continue to train and operate side by side. In our discussions, Prime Minister Modi and I affirmed our two countries' commitment to protecting our citizens from radical Islamic terrorism. In this effort, the United States is also working productively with Pakistan to confront terrorists who operate on its soil.
Besides the delegation-level talks, the two leaders also held a one-on-one dialogue, out of which emerged a major convergence of ideas on how to fight Islamic terrorism. President Trump said he was working with Pakistan against terrorism.
In our discussions, Prime Minister Modi and I affirmed our two countries' commitment to protecting our citizens from radical Islamic terrorism. In this effort, the United States is also working productively with Pakistan to confront terrorists who operate on its soil. Cooperation on counterterrorism, cybersecurity, and maritime security to ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific.
During this visit, India and the US have expanded their defense cooperation with agreements for India to purchase more than $3 billion of advanced American military equipment, including Apache and MH-60 Romeo helicopters. America will also help local entrepreneurs in India, specifically women. The two leaders will also negotiate a trade deal in the future, ostensibly after the November US presidential election.
Indeed, both countries are moving towards comprehensive partnership and comprehensive understanding on almost all issues of global politics, global institutions, and also global governance. And the big ticket announcement will come after November election, when President Donald Trump is expecting himself to be elected again. But there are many things that are under wraps, and they are under consideration and will be implemented continuously before that. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television, with camera person Raj Thakur in Delhi.
And after the talks, Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla said that India and the US held talks in 5 major categories, which include security, defense, energy, technology, and people-to-people contact with President Donald Trump, assuring India highest consideration for collaboration in the defense sector. The Foreign Secretary also said that both countries have decided to set up working groups on curbing narcotics trafficking and reinvigorating homeland security.
The first category was security and defense. The second category was in the realm of energy. The third category would be in terms of technology and trade. The fourth category would be really, people-to-people contacts. And the fifth category would be, on the global aspects of the discussion, and then, of course, some regional issues. The United States also announced its decision to have the Development Finance Corporation, the United States International Development Finance Corporation, established a permanent office in India, and at the same time would make $600 million available in terms of concessional financing. And that also is part of the overall efforts to boost cooperation in the Indo-Pacific and other areas. We conduct some of the largest exercises, joint military exercises with the United States. We also have a very good defense trade and technology initiative which involves joint R&D, joint technology transfers.
The US President also wooed Indian industry leaders to invest more in America, promising to reduce regulations in his country. Speaking at a high-profile CEO roundtable, which included captains of the Indian industry, Donald Trump said it has been an honor to be in India. He also claimed that he is going to win the upcoming US presidential elections that will cause markets to boom. Donald Trump also praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
You have a statutory process, so we're going to cut regulations, but we have to give a 90-day notice, then we have to give 120 days, then we have to give 30 days, and we're in that process now with respect to a lot. No, we're going to cut a lot more regulations. No, and we're going to also have regulation, because I think you need regulation for safety and for environmental. But no president has ever cut anywhere close to what we've done. And I've done it in 3 years, and some of them have been for 8. In one case, is more than 8. But no president has come close. But we are in statutory environments where we have to go. We have one where we have to wait 6 months before we do phase 2, and there's 4 or 5 phases. But they're all in a pipeline to get cut.
President Trump lauded Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying he's working very hard on religious freedom.
So we did talk about religious freedom, and I will say that the Prime Minister was incredible on what he told me. He wants people to have religious freedom, and very strongly. And he said that in India they have worked very hard to have great and open religious freedom.
In fact, Rajya Sabha TV's Foreign Affairs editor Akhilesh Suman asked the US President also about terrorism emanating from Pakistan in Jammu and Kashmir and the rest of the country. Listen in to what Donald Trump had to say.
Mr. President, I am Akhilesh Suman. I am from Rajya Sabha Television. It's a parliamentary channel of India, upper house, like you've seen it. India's concern is with neighborhood, and you and Prime Minister Modi tell that you are very good friends. What is your strategy about terrorism that is coming out from Pakistan to India? Because we have been suffering from this type of terrorism for last 20 years or so. What is your strategy? What are you going to do?
We talked a lot about Pakistan. I have a very good relationship with Prime Minister Khan, very good. We talked about it today at length, actually, and Prime Minister Modi. And it's no question it's a problem, but it's a problem they're working on it. India is, it's a brave nation too. There's no pullback from India. And we just hope, and I said I'll help, I'll do whatever I have to do if I can do that, because my relationship with both gentlemen is so good. But there has been difficulty in Pakistan, and we're seeing what we can do about it. Anything I can do to mediate, anything I can do to help, I would do. They're working on Kashmir. Kashmir has been a thorn in a lot of people's sides for a long time. And there are two sides to every story, but they've been working on that very hard. We discussed it at great length, terrorism, and I think we have some very good ideas. He's very, very strongly against terrorism. I'll tell you, Prime Minister Modi is a very religious man, as you know. He's a very calm man, but he's actually a very, very strong person, very tough, actually. I've seen him in action, and he's got that foremost in his mind, terrorism. He'll take care of it.
And prior to all his official engagements in the day, the US President was accorded a ceremonial welcome at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed Donald Trump and the First Lady, Melania Trump, at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The US President was then accorded a Tri-Services Guard of Honor at the forecourt of the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Trump's daughter Ivanka, son-in-law Jared Kushner, and several top officials of the US administration were also present at the ceremony. After the ceremonial reception at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, Donald Trump and his wife Melania paid homage to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat. The US President and the First Lady laid a wreath and paid floral tributes at Mahatma Gandhi's Samadhi. The US President and the US First Lady also planted a tree at the memorial. And later, Donald Trump signed the visitor's book at the Rajghat. It said, and I quote, "American people stand strongly with the sovereign and wonderful India, the vision of the great Mahatma. This is a tremendous honor." The message was also signed by the First Lady. And the US First Lady also attended a happiness class at a South Delhi government school. She interacted with students at the school and witnessed various activities conducted as part of the happiness curriculum. Addressing the students, the First Lady said it is very inspiring that students begin their day by practicing mindfulness and connecting with nature. She also said, back in the United States, she works with children to promote similar ideas of well-being through the Be Best initiative. The school students, in fact, gifted Madhubani paintings made by them to the US First Lady and also put up a dance performance for her.
The President and I are grateful to be guests for a beautiful country and to have received such a warm reception during our time here. I learned that your school's name, Sarvodaya, means prosperity for all. As I walked around, I was able to see how the concept exists in curriculum, in the leadership of the teachers, and in the spirit of enthusiasm of the students. A short while ago, I visited a classroom and observed its happiness curriculum. It is very inspiring to me that the students here begin each day by participating mindfulness.
In some other news, biennial elections to fill 55 seats in the Rajya Sabha will be held on the 26th of March. The Election Commission made the announcement on Tuesday. 55 members of Rajya Sabha from 17 states are retiring in April this year. The notification will be issued on the 6th of March, while 13th of March will be the last date for making nominations. The scrutiny of nomination papers will take place on the 16th of March, while 18th March will be the last date for withdrawal of candidature. In fact, fresh violence broke out in parts of northeast Delhi on Tuesday as well. An unruly mob pelted stones, vandalized shops and destroyed public property for a second day, despite prohibitory orders in place. As the situation worsened in the city-state, curfew was imposed in 4 areas of northeast Delhi: Maujpur, Jafrabad, Chandbagh and Karawal Nagar. Section 144 was also clamped down in the region for a month. The police also conducted flag march in northeast Delhi's Bhajanpura and Kureji Khas after the areas witnessed arson and stone pelting. Shops remain closed in Selampur and Jafrabad as well, following Monday's violence in which 10 people have died, including 1 policeman. The police has registered 11 FIRs in connection with the violence in different parts of Delhi. Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia announced that private and government schools in violence-affected northeast Delhi will continue to remain closed on Wednesday as well.
मैं ये बताना चाहूँगा कि अभी जो एरियाज़ हैं, नॉर्थ ईस्ट के एरियाज़ हैं, सिचुएशन पूरी कंट्रोल में है, लेकिन कई जगह पे जो स्ट्रे इंसिडेंट्स हैं वो हो रहे हैं और पुलिस उसको रिस्पॉन्ड कर रही है. इसी दौरान हमारे 56 पुलिस पर्सनल्स को चोटें आई. अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमने एक साथी अपना हेड कांस्टेबल रतनलाल, जैसे आप सब जानते हैं, उसको खो दिया. इसके अलावा 2 आईपीएस ऑफिसर्स हैं, उनको चोट आई. डीसीपी शादरा को भी हेड इंजरी है, अंडर ऑब्जर्वेशन है. और बाकी 56 पुलिस पर्सनल्स को चोट है. और इसके साथ साथ 56 इसके अलावा 130 जो पब्लिक पर्सनल्स हैं उनको चोट है, उनको भी हॉस्पिटल्स में शिफ्ट किया गया. पहले मैं ये बताना चाहूँगा कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट में सफिशिएंट फोर्स डिप्लॉय की गई है.
Earlier in the day, Home Minister Amit Shah convened a high-level meeting to enhance police-MLA coordination in Delhi and also quell rumour-mongering so that the violence in the city could be stopped. The meeting was attended by Delhi's Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Commissioner of Police Amulya Patnaik, among others.
बहुत सकारात्मक मीटिंग रही, जिसमें पार्टी पॉलिटिक्स से ऊपर उठ के सबने ये तय किया कि ये हमारी अपनी सबकी दिल्ली का मामला है और सभी पार्टियां मिलके और सभी पॉलिटिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स मिलके दिल्ली में वापस शांति बहाल करने के लिए जो भी संभव प्रयास है, हम सब संभव प्रयास करेंगे.
And Delhi's Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal led the wreath-laying ceremony to pay tributes to Head Constable Ratan Lal, who lost his life during the violent clashes in northeast Delhi. Union Minister of State for Home Nityanand Rai and Delhi Police Commissioner Amulya Patnaik also paid their respect to the slain policeman, along with a host of other police officials at the Shaheed Smarak Sthal in Delhi. According to the police, his mortal remains will now be taken to his hometown Sikar in Rajasthan, where his last rites will be performed. Union Home Minister Amit Shah also wrote a letter to the wife of the slain head constable Ratan Lal, conveying his condolences to the family. In the letter, he wrote that Ratan Lal had made the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty, and the entire country stands with the family of the brave policeman in this hour of grief. India will send a transport aircraft to coronavirus-hit Wuhan on the 26th of February to deliver medical supplies as well as relief material. On its way back, the aircraft will bring back more Indians following a clearance from China. As informed by the Ministry of External Affairs, the departure of the Indian flight to Wuhan is being planned for 26th of February and the evacuees will arrive on the 27th. Earlier, the transport aircraft was scheduled to fly on the 20th of February to Wuhan, but was awaiting clearance from the Chinese side. The items being supplied are gloves, surgical masks, feeding and infusion pumps, and several other such relief material based on the requirements indicated by China. Meanwhile, the Indian embassy in Tokyo has also confirmed that the Indians on board the cruise ship off the Japan coast who have not tested positive for the novel coronavirus will be repatriated on the 26th of February by a chartered flight. The number of infected Indians on the vessel rose to 16 after completion of all tests. A total of 138 Indians, including 132 crew and 6 passengers, were among the 3,711 people on board the Diamond Princess ship when it docked at the Yokohama port near Tokyo on the 3rd of February. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time.